guys are writing informational text, so writers often use different text structures, and I know you guys have working on text structures in your readers workshop, right? You guys learned about text structures, so who can tell me what some text structures that you guys know about and when you're reading? Can you guys name some text structures? Nobody? How about descriptive writing? Yes. Compare and contrast? Have you guys heard these? Can you think of another one, Abraham?
Yeah, compare and contrast. I can give you an example.
I want another text structure. What's another one?
Another one is like
problem and
solution.
Problem and solution.
Beginning and ending.
What do you call it if it's written in order of that it happened? Do you remember that one? Or what was yours?
Narrative.
So narrative would not be informational. That would be like a little bit different, right? So, but you guys get the idea. So a writer uses different structure to organize their writing. And so today we're going to be talking about the compare and contrast text structure. And you guys are going to think about the informational book that you're writing. And you're going to be choosing, Kribby, one chapter. And you're going to think about what is it in one of your chapters that would make a good compare and contrast paragraph or section. Okay, some of you might be writing more than one paragraph. So today we're going to be doing compare and contrast. So when you compare two things, you talk about how they are the same. And when you contrast two things, you talk about how they are different. Okay, so to start off, we're just going to do a little video. And part of the video, you will be asked to use your journal and write something down, okay? So it's not very long, it's about 7 minutes. Okay, so just be ready. You don't have to write yet, just listen at the beginning. And is the volume up? Oh, it's not.
Saying about two or more things.
Okay, let's do that again because it wasn't.
Here's orange.
Okay.
Carter. We're going to look at compare and contrast. That's same and different. When we compare, we tell what is the same about two or more things.
Your eyes are on the screen?
There's oranges and bananas. Let's compare them. Let's tell some ways that they're the same. Pause the video now, and in your notebook, write down one way that oranges and bananas are the same.
Okay, go ahead and do that right now. Just if you think of two, you can write that down too. Write down just one way, very quickly. Yes, write down one way apples and oranges are the same.
Oranges and bananas.
I'm sorry, oranges and bananas, thank you. Sure, right, well, that's more of an opinion. Write down more of a fact. Okay, does everybody have something written down?
I have
Thumbs up if you have something written in your book.
Can I share mine?
Okay, let's have no more sharpening until we're done with the lesson, okay? Okay, so she's gonna tell her ideas and you're gonna see if it matches one that you wrote down.
All right, what did you come up with? Well, I came up with more than one thing, so we'll see if your thing is the same as any of
See
mine.
if you wrote down one of these things.
One way they're the same. Well, you can eat both of them.
Thumbs up if you
That's
wrote that.
nothing that's the same about them.
Okay.
They're both fruits. That's the same
I
about
wrote
them.
that. Who didn't?
Okay.
You have to peel both of them.
Anybody have that one?
Peeling. That's the same about them as well. So we've compared oranges and bananas.
Okay, so we compared them. We talked about how they are the same. So
But they
now
also-
we're going to contrast. Talk about how they are different. Okay?
They have different.
All right, let's contrast. When you contrast, you tell what is different about two or more things. Well, let's look at our oranges and bananas and see if we can come up with a way that they are different. So this is a way they are not the same. I want you to pause the video and in your ELA notebook, I want you to write down one way that that oranges and bananas are different? Pause now.
Okay, this time you're writing a difference. At least one, if you think of more than one and you can do it quick, go ahead. Some of you are doing thumbs up when you have your idea written, so I know when to go on. Remember to put your thumb up so I know when you're ready. If you have one thing written, I see 2 thumbs.
No.
I see 3 thumbs, 4, 5. Couple more seconds, about 10 more seconds. Okay, if you have your idea, then you're gonna listen and see if you have one of her ideas in your book. I'm gonna go on.
Okay, let's see what you came up with. I came up with oranges are orange and bananas are yellow.
So if you wrote that or if you wrote color,
I also
thumbs up.
came up with oranges are round and bananas are long.
Okay,
Those
you
are
wrote
different.
that or
They're
shape.
not the same shape.
Color
Same thing.
flavored.
Oranges have seeds you can't eat,
Wait, what?
and bananas have seeds you can eat. That's a little
What?
black speck.
Wait, you can? You
So,
can?
yeah, bananas have little tiny seeds. You don't even
Oh,
notice
yeah,
you're
but that
eating
one.
them.
And then why can you not eat oranges?
But if oranges have seeds.
You usually spit out the seeds in the oranges,
But
right?
why can you not eat them?
They just start to taste good.
Some
The
oranges
seeds
have
do different shapes.
Okay, we're gonna go on.
Wait, no, don't. That's bananas.
It's okay if you don't have all those ideas written. I'm gonna move on.
That is bananas.
leaves.
Those are the seeds.
Oh,
Let's look at a Venn diagram. Here's a Venn diagram. It's 2 circles that overlap, and what's in the middle is the same, and what's on the outside is different. It's a great way to organize your thoughts when you're comparing and contrasting 2 things. In the middle, we put what's alike about the 2 objects. On the sides, you put how the objects are different. So let's try organizing your Venn diagram. Now, you don't actually have a Venn diagram on your paper, but that's okay. We can do it on the screen. We're going to talk about oranges over here on this side. We're going to talk about bananas over here on this side. This is where they're different. In the middle has to be true about oranges and bananas. Any?
okay, so I'm sure, show me by a show of hands, how many people have used a Venn diagram before for anything? Okay, so now have you ever used a Venn diagram for organizing your writing before?
No.
So we're using the same thing that you know, we're gonna use it in a different way. So let's see how they organize. Can you guess where those things that you wrote down are gonna go?
Yes.
Okay, so let's just
Saying over here can only be true about oranges, and anything over here can only be true about bananas. So let's put some of our information on here. Where would we put that they're fruit? Would that go on the oranges side, or the banana side, or in the middle?
what do you guys think?
Middle.
Yeah, it's gonna go in the middle, isn't it? Because that's something that's the same about them. Okay, what about another one? You can eat it. That's gonna go in the middle because it's the same. Where would I put, you have to peel them?
Middle.
The same.
Yep, it's gonna go in the middle because that's the same about both of them.
And both can
All right, what about the color? Yep, I'm gonna put orange over there, and I'm gonna put yellow over here by banana. Because those are different. I definitely can't put the color in the middle. They're not both orange, and they're not both yellow. Here's another one. The shape, round, and long. Now what about the seeds? We realized that we could eat one, but we couldn't eat the other. Can we put that in the middle?
Put that in the
No.
middle?
We can't eat the seeds in oranges, but we can eat the seeds in bananas.
But if you couldn't.
So now we've organized things in a Venn diagram. So if someone looked at this, they would see that all of your thoughts are organized. This is where the circle overlaps, so that's how those 2 are connected. The circle is not overlapped over here, so that's how they're different. That's the contrast. This is the compare. What kinds of things can we compare and contrast? We could compare and contrast people. We could say, hey, they're the same because they both have glasses, but they're different because one has blonde hair and one has black hair. We can compare and contrast objects like we just did with bananas and oranges. We could compare and contrast animals. We could compare and contrast a cat and a dog. One purrs, the other barks, but they're same because they're both mammals. We could compare and contrast places like the beach or the desert. We could compare and contrast music like rap and country. We could even compare and contrast books, but when we do that, we'll break it down into several elements of the story. We would talk about things that are the same and different about the characters, the things that are the same and different about the setting, and the things that are the same and the different about the events that happen in the story. All right, we're gonna review. Before we review, I want you to write down in your ELA notebook what you think compare means and what you think contrast means.
Okay, so write just maybe one word or a couple words. What does compare mean? And one word or a couple words, and what does contrast mean? Question? We're almost done. Can you just maybe just switch your legs around? You're gonna get a chance to go to your desk in just a few minutes. Okay, does everybody have a definition for compare? I see one. Okay. While you're sitting there next to your partner, go ahead and share your answers with your partner. Tell your partner what compare means.
What can be both three objects or three?
Okay.
Okay.
Alright. Let's go ahead. Did everybody share that? You
No.
either wrote it down or you shared it, I hope.
Can we share it?
So let's see if you're right. If you get the answer right, you can get a silent cheer. Okay? Silent cheer with your hands.
Pause the video and write it down now. All right, you've got your answer written down for compare. Compare means the same. Tell how it's the same. Now, you have your answer written down for contrast. If you don't have it written down, pause it and write it down. Contrast means different. That's how you're going to tell that things are different. You're going to contrast them. One more thing you're going to write down.
Last thing.
You're going to write down what you can use to organize your thoughts. I'll give you.
Okay. What thing can you use? What sort of diagram can you use to compare and contrast? Write down your answer.
I don't get that.
If you're not sure, that's okay. I'm going to give you a chance to talk to your buddy too. Okay, you guys can write it down and tell your partner what you are thinking. Tell your partner what kind of diagram can you use to help you compare and contrast two different things.
That's what she just said, but what type of Venn diagram?
The Venn diagram that you didn't put.
He's got it.
One with says the different and same.
It's a Venn diagram.
Okay,
The says same.
let's count to 3 and everyone tell me what kind of diagram it is. 1, 2, 3.
Venn diagram.
Okay. It's a Venn diagram. Let's check it.
Venn.
Two overlapping circles.
Two overlapping circles.
All. Pause the video now.
Two circles connected.
All right, did you figure it out? You can organize your ideas using a Venn diagram. Its name is Venn diagram. That's the person who came up with it.
Like Ben.
All right.
And
Very good job on comparing and contrasting. We are going to be using this in class a lot.
Okay. So that was our.
Boys and girls, Miss Carter. We're going to
Want to
look
watch
at
it again? Okay. So now, right now, So now you know what a Venn diagram is,
Yes.
how we're gonna compare and contrast. So right now I'm gonna give you about 30 seconds of thinking time. I asked you to bring your table of contents with you to the carpet. So I want you to look at your table of contents and I want you to think of something in your book that you can write a compare and contrast chapter about. For example, if your topic, listen to the example because some people might have a trouble. If you're writing about dogs and you think, well, what can I compare and contrast? So maybe you could compare and contrast two different breeds of dogs. Or maybe you could, if you're writing a chapter about how to take care of your dogs, maybe you're talking about what to feed your dog. You could talk about wet food and dry food and compare and contrast those two things. If you're talking about fishing, maybe you want to think about two different kinds of bait and you could compare and contrast how to use those different baits. If you're talking about, some people have a materials list. So think if you have a materials list, you might want to compare and contrast. Like if you're doing it on art, maybe you want to talk about pastel drawing versus watercolors, or pencil drawing versus ink drawing. So think about something. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds of wait time to think about something, and you are going to be making a Venn diagram. So find a topic that you can compare and contrast right now in your table of contents. Does everybody understand?
Yes.
Okay, anybody have a question about what I'm asking you to do? Okay, go ahead and look. You have 30 seconds of thinking time. You can talk to your partners about it. So
I'm going to compare and contrast farms.
do you know you're going to compare and contrast in yours?
For instance,
The first one, what are you going to compare and contrast? I'll come back to what? What are you going to compare and contrast? In your chapter? In your chapter. So look at your topic. I can't. Maybe two characters. Are there two characters you could compare in the game? Like one evil and one good? I know you have lots of characters. There's only one character in the game?
Well, there's two characters, but they're both good.
Doesn't matter if they're both good, you can still compare and contrast them. There's probably something different about them. Right? Okay. All right. Is everybody good? Okay.
yeah. The cookies you want to buy?
All right, please show me your thumbs up that if you have an idea of what you're going to compare and contrast in your book. You guys are over there, please come back to me again. So I am going to give you, right now, what do you think I'm going to give you? You are going to get a Venn diagram, and you are going to, do I do the picture of the camera?
No.
Would you know which one it is? Thank you. Okay. So you're going to get one, see right here where it says heading? Sure. Daniel, time for speech. Hello? Sure. Sanae, you need to go get your instrument. And Daniel's going to speak. Okay. So at the top, on the top line, where it says heading, you are going to write down the two things you are going to compare and contrast. So you're going to, so remember we did apples and oranges? I mean oranges and bananas, you would have written oranges and bananas. You're not doing oranges and bananas, you're going to pick something that you are going to compare and contrast in your chapter. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to let you guys go to your desk. Are you guys getting tired of sitting? Yeah. So I'm going to, I need the professors to come and help.
because I was playing first with Creepy and then I like down and I hit him.
Here, take this one.
20 minutes? 20 minutes?
There's wrestling right now, I don't know why.
There's so much chairs here. There's a chair in here.